talk about herbs and when they bolt. So this is some cilantro, and you can tell that I have definitely let it bolted. But by doing so, it has allowed some friendly little pollinators to make their way to the garden. And so sometimes it is okay to let them bolt. I kept pinching the top off the cilantro during the beginning part of the season, springtime, because I didn't want it to bolt. And that's when everything would still taste pretty good. But when it gets to be June, end of May like it is now, it's going to start taking its toll with the heat, and it's just going to want to flower. And in that case, once it flowers, your cilantro is done. It's not going to taste any good. You might as well let it go to flower and bring in your awesome little pollinators. So this other herb we have over here, basil. Now I know some people have made teas out of the flowers. If you pinch off the tops all the way down, you can cook with this. I personally haven't, but I heard that it does taste really good. The smaller leaves that you can find in here, those are going to taste the best. So when you're making your basil, your basil salads, or your pesto or anything like that, your little smaller leaves, they're going to be the most flavorful. What happens when it goes to flower is it does start to lose some of its flavor, but it's actually still pretty good as long as you dig out any of those smaller flowers. So it's okay, not totally horrible if it goes to flower. And again, you're bringing in pollinators. If you'd like, you can take the flowers and you can set them down here. And then after they have already grown to seed, then the seeds will automatically self-germinate and plant themselves in there to where you don't have to worry about ever buying basil again. You will grow some next year. But with it being this early in the season, you can again cook with these, leave a few, pick some off. It's not horrible again if it flowers. You can still salvage plenty and plenty of basil with it being with how full they get. They do tend to take over if you let them. So I'm okay with leaving some, taking some. Again, it's little ones that you want. Your parsley, again, you can keep picking off all you want off this. It's not going to be a big deal as far as basil goes, as far as any kind of, I've actually never had it flower, so you're good with just leaving it as is. Your dill, I used to plant dill. It goes crazy. When it goes flowers, it gets super, super duper tall, and it'll start planting itself everywhere. So I actually haven't done dill this year because of that. It's great for your pickles though, so if you'd like, you can go ahead and plant some, but keep in mind when it does flower, the seeds will go everywhere. But you don't really want to pick the flowers off them because the pollinators absolutely love dill flowers. And you'll find caterpillars on that. It's another one that you don't want to put BT on because there are caterpillars that absolutely love it. Let me show you my citrus plants out here. They actually have some caterpillars on them right now as well. Okay, citrus plants will sometimes get little caterpillars on them. It kind of looks like bird poop, but that is a little caterpillar, and they'll get a whole lot bigger. There's actually quite a few on here. There's at least 5, maybe even 6 of them. There's a little egg right there. It will eat the leaves and the plant will still be fine. So leave them be. Don't put BT on any of your citrus plants. These will become swallowtail butterflies, and they're absolutely beautiful, and they do a good job pollinating. So it's okay again to leave them there. Don't pick them off. They're going to eat leaves, and that's okay. They're not gonna totally eat up your whole entire plant. So now we'll talk about my oregano plant here. It's been in this pot for many, many years. I totally forgot to cut it back. The flavor is still going to be good on any of this new growth down here. Again, any of them that have gone to flower, probably not so much. But it has brought in, again, a lot of good pollinators, so I'm not too worried about it. But when you're picking out which ones you're going to want to eat, get the ones that have the new growth down towards the bottom. I will be cutting this back because it definitely does not need to be this crazy. But since all of the bugs seem to be attracted to it right now, I'll leave it be for a little bit longer. But then I'm gonna cut all this back, and again, anything that I'm gonna cook with, you're going to want to pick your newest little leaves that you can find. I hope this information was helpful for you on some of the herbs out there about whether or not to let them flower or not. Again, if they do, not bad. Just make sure you pick the smallest, newest stuff. That's going to be more bang for your buck on your flavor.